Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and this is day 22 of me doing 100 YouTube videos, 100 days of YouTube videos in a row, and making a gratitude list or talking about things that I am grateful for. And also, just kind of in that process, talking about things that I am learning and doing, especially when it comes to my writing and to myself, and things that are blocking me or preventing me from finishing my writings. And I don't have a headache now, but I had a headache for the past 3 days. And I think yesterday was the worst that it has been. And it was very frustrating to me. And I kept praying that it would go away. And I kept, trying to do things in spite of my headache, including making these videos, which was a good thing, and trying not to complain about it. So I think that's a good thing as well. But then last night I had an issue with some technology things and paying a bill and some other crazy things. Not that I need to go into details with all of it, but basically I ended up not being able to work last night because I could not get access to my work account because I was having issues with technology. So I was very frustrated and my head was hurting, and I was like, I need to do this. And I couldn't, there was just no way. There was like all these blocks in the way. There was no way that I could go back to work last night. And I was very frustrated. And it probably took me about an hour to get past that, in spite of the fact that I had this thought in the back of my head, well, now I can work on my book. And I do remember thinking yesterday when I was laying in bed and my head was killing me, just praying that the pain would go away. And I'm like, I promise if you take the pain away from my head, I will write my book. I will finish my book. I promise I'll do it. And then, of course, last night when I couldn't work, I was thinking about those same things, that nice little reminder of that promise that I made. And I was like, oh, crap. So I started working on my book. And the more I worked on my book, the less my head hurt. Like the pain just slowly seemed to seep away. And now it is pretty much gone today. And I was like, wait, I had a headache for 3 days and was trying to figure out what the heck to do to make it go away. And all I had to do was work on my book. I don't know why I was so stressed out that I was getting a headache over not working on my book or working on my book. I'm not really sure. And I would love to say that I finished it, or at least the rough draft, but I haven't quite finished it. I did write all of chapter 21, and I started chapter 22. And then, of course, I was up all night doing that and ran into church things for this morning. And then I was so tired. I'm like, I'm at least going to go to sleep for a few hours before I finish it. So I am planning on, when I'm finished with this video here, to start working on my book again to see if I can't finish the last chapter. I hope it's the last chapter. I think it's the last chapter. It kind of plays out as the last chapter in my mind, but I realize that it still has to go through a revision process, and also some beta readers. So if people add comments or ask questions or want more information, I can add more chapters to it. I know that happened when I did the Fall of Vespinglandia, which I have to rewrite. So that's my next book when I'm done with this one. So yes, I already have a title and another book all set up to rewrite. Won't that be fun? Um, anyway, and I have ideas as to how to fix and change that based on this book. And of course, last night I was looking through the Fall of Vespinglandia to make sure stuff that I was writing about last night matched up with what I'd already written, or that I knew I would have to change in the future. So I was like, hey. And then I was reading my writing and I was like, oh, now I know why this book isn't good and has to be rewritten, because even though it has some really good ideas or some really good sayings in that book, I did not do a very good job of writing it because I didn't understand how to write books to readers. And I hadn't learned, that you put paragraphs for each new person that's talking, and you do like little tags so you know who's talking. So I literally just had conversations that I was reading, and it was like, this person said this person. I was like, I don't even know who's saying anything anymore. It's just a flow of conversation, but I don't know who's saying it in my own book. And I wrote it, and I was like, okay, that's why I have to rewrite it. Obviously, the conversation may not have to change, but obviously some like tags or other things need to go in there, some paragraph breaks, some separation to make it a little bit more clear that there's more than one person having a conversation and not just a crazy person talking to themselves in my book. So that's kind of it was interesting to see that for me myself, to see the change in my writing styles, to see the things that I have learned, and to see how what I'm doing now, what my mentor has taught me as far as writing, how that's better and makes it easier to read and follow along, and how it's easier coming from one person's point of view instead of 25 people's point of view, which is what I had in the other book. So narrowing that one down to 2 or 3 people's points of view is going to be quite interesting process, and it might get split into 3 books. I'm not sure. I have ideas to make at least one more out of that book, but I'm not sure if I can make 3. I'm still debating on the 3rd one for that one, but I won't know until I write it. And that's me getting ahead of myself, because I get excited where I'm at, and then I think of the future and all the things I have to do, and I just get super excited, and then I get super overwhelmed, and then I'm living too far in the future and not in the present moment, and then I have to come back to today and realize I still need to finish chapter 22 of Lanoia, and then I still need to send it out to people and see what they think of my book and determine what other changes, minor, major, need to be done, if any more chapters, paragraphs, whatever need to be added, if things need to be taken out, things need to be clarified. Because again, I mean, I can read through it and it makes sense to me, but so did The Fall of Espingvange when I wrote it, and now it no longer makes sense to me. So I do need other people's input to make sure that it's good, and so that when I do publish it and put it out there for everybody, that it will be the best version of the book that it can be, and hopefully, error-free. Maybe there will still be some minor mistakes and errors in it, and I hope that's okay with anybody reading it. I know it bugs some people, but I'm like, hey, that's my little imperfections. That's me. I am not perfect, but I am trying. I am doing the best that I can, and I am grateful that I am able to work on my book. I am grateful that my head is not killing me anymore. I am surprised that that's what was giving me a headache, was just avoiding working on my book. I was like, wow, there is some kind of need. I think God is saying, Midge, you really have to finish this. You really need to do this. There's some kind of urgency. I don't know what it is, but I know when I finish this, it will hopefully make it easier to write the next book. But then again, I keep hoping that when I do these videos, I will feel calm and collected, and it will get easier to do these videos. And honestly, I still don't like watching myself or listening to myself, but I kind of feel like a dork doing these videos. But I hope you guys don't always see me as a dork. If you do, that's okay. If you watch these just for entertainment, just to watch me screw up and make fun of myself, that's okay. But if you can glean something from these that would be helpful in your lives, to focus on positive things, on gratitude, to realize that maybe if you're not feeling well, it's because you're avoiding doing something that needs to be done, and maybe it's something that's an opportunity for growth, something that will help benefit your life or benefit the lives of others. And sometimes it's better to just do it and then let it go, because I think for me, I get migraines when I'm stressing about things, and once it's done, I can't stress about it anymore. So maybe I was just stressing about finishing my book, and now it's basically finished. So I will finish it tonight. That is my goal. I'd like to say that's my promise. I hope I will finish that tonight. I hope I don't continue to put that off, because putting it off is not healthy for me, obviously, and I really don't want my headache to come back. So I am very more than willing to finish my book tonight to avoid the headache that would ensue otherwise. So I guess that's pretty much what I have. I am grateful that I'm working on my book. I'm grateful that I'm writing through this process. I'm grateful that I'm learning things. I'm grateful that God is guiding me and pushing me, and in some cases causing me some pain if I don't do what it is that He's asking me to do. And I'm grateful that He's relieved my headache to allow me to finish my book and to allow me to do these YouTube videos. And I'm grateful that I've been able to do these YouTube videos in spite of not feeling well. So I haven't stopped doing good things in the process. So I'm still growing, I'm still changing, I'm still trying to build new habits, and I know it's not an overnight process. I know I still struggle. It's still easy for me to just want to give up and play my games and not do what I'm supposed to do, because things just don't work out the way that I want them to, which I tried to do last night and it didn't work. So I did get work done on my book, which is a good thing, and I'm grateful that that's happened, and I'm just grateful that I've been able to do this, and just grateful to people that are choosing to watch this and liking, sharing, commenting if you want to. I haven't seen any comments, so I have no idea how this whole YouTube video thing works, but I am determined to get through 100 days in a row of making YouTube videos, and this is day 22. So I think it's been 3 weeks now, so I'm excited. I'm doing this, and I'm just grateful that I'm following through on something for myself, and hopefully it's beneficial to other people that are watching this process, if anybody is. So just trying to be grateful today, and just really grateful my head doesn't hurt right now, and really grateful and excited that my book is almost finished. And now I'm rambling and repeating myself. I apologize. So I will let you all go. I hope you have a great day.